Hello there guys and welcome back to the channel. Right, so Summer of Pain is here and rewards for it can potentially be absolutely amazing, especially if you did do majority of these challenges. Now week 1 fight is against a rogue, and in today's video I'm going to show you a single solo. I did solo her live pretty much as straight away as the event came out with She-Hulk, and there are definitely other viable counters. So after I finished my stream up, I did go back in, soloed her again with She-Hulk, which I'm going to showcase to you guys. And then we're going to go also over other viable counters that have been found so far. With no doubt, I'm sure that there will be more options that I mentioned. So do not think that these are the only champions that can do the fight well. But I do believe that these will be kind of like the quote-unquote better options for most part. That being said, there are also a few key points that I want to mention to help you guys should you use She-Hulk or pretty much any other champion that is quite important. Now, first off, let's go over the nodes. So Brawl is quite annoying one to deal with because every 10 seconds both champions gain an unstoppable passive for 5 seconds. And unless you have a way to deal with that unstoppable passive, it means that you can't really attack Rogue for half the time you are spending in the fight. On top of that, we have kinetic transference and invade, which means that Rogue will be hitting really hard on parries, and basically parrying is not an option. Then she also has aggressive AI, no doubt, in order to make it harder for you to hit her block. Then we have personal space, which is actually a welcome addition here. And past that, we do have unblockable finale. And yeah, that is about it. So I'm gonna show the She-Hulk solo here, but pay attention to the very start of the fight. And one of the more important things in majority of the cases is to start the fight with a light attack. Now, it's not necessarily maybe a must, but I definitely did find it a lot easier to get the fight started and in a decent rhythm if I start the fight with a light attack and immediately try to hit her. Now, it will not work always, but keep in mind, if it doesn't, you can just quit and restart the fight. But what that enables you to do is to immediately land a combo and go for dashback intercepts, thus pushing her to the other corner, which is where you want her to be. So once again, we saw the start of the fight here. I'm just going to rewind here again. As soon as the fight starts, I immediately go for my light attacks, and that lets me get the opening. And by that, once I have had my first opening, I can very easily go for dashback intercepts. That will work more often than they normally would, purely because of the aggressive AI, and she's pretty much always going to follow you. Now, the second important thing in this fight is to space your heavy attack counters. Now, because it's a rogue, obviously she's going to shrug off the slows quite a bit, but that's not the important bit. Here I do make the one kerfuffle in this fight. My sticky fingers, my sweaty fingers, or my sweaty phone, I don't know. But I quickly saved the situation there by dropping level 3. But as the fight is going to progress, it's going to be important for you guys to learn the spacing of how you punish the level 1. And you can get closer, you can win a light attack there, but my preferred method is to leave myself a bit more margin of error, but to make sure that I unleash my heavy attack as she's still executing her level 1, knowing that the first hit is going to miss, but the second hit has much bigger range. So once again, this is a very good example here. So we can see that she's dropping her level 1 here. 1 second. So here we go. She's dropping her level 1, and I'm already charging heavy attack, and I released my heavy attack early. So I release my heavy attack early. We can see that I'm about to release it here frame by frame. And then my second hit is the one that's meant to connect. That is just an easier way, at least for me, to manage the spacing, because then I don't need to worry about having to drop in like a light attack and get my positioning perfect, because second hit on that heavy attack has quite a bit of range, as we can see. And after that, it's all a matter of pretty much dashing in immediately. And since she does have an aggressive AI, most of the time, more often than not, she is already trying to strike you. So you can pretty much attack her almost always immediately. Now, it might need a bit of timing there, and a bit of practice, but after your heavy attack, you can pretty much run in, and we can see that almost always I get my opening immediately. If not, then you can try either dash back intercept or try and bait heavy attack or slow the fight down a bit, but normally, as we can see here, it works pretty much perfectly for me to find opening. Now at that point, it was another case of sticky fingers because she didn't want to dash in when I pressed the dash in, but that is exactly why I saved up to my level 3. And yeah, that is all she wrote. That is a very easy, quick rogue solo She-Hulk, hopefully also with a couple of techniques that will help you out. So once again, the most important thing for me, well, one of the more important things at the start of the fight is to start it with a light attack. So for you not to get cornered and in order for you to be able to push her to the other side of the screen as early as possible. You also want to push her past the bar of power before the unstoppable activates, so you can punish that level 1 and get that slow active and you can get the fluid fight going. And after that, it's pretty much all about spacing your heavy attack and knowing when to release it. And as I say again, I almost always release it as she's still throwing her level 1, and that then enables me to land the second hit of the heavy attack relatively easily. Right, so yeah, that is pretty much exactly the same way as I did get the solo on the stream live that you can check out, which I did this fight pretty much immediately as the fight went live. Right, what are other great options? The best option, truth to be told, is Quake. Quake is definitely, it will take a while, because obviously she has like 660k health or something like that, but Quake can definitely do it extremely well. However, you need to be able to fully Quake and Dex everything. You cannot parry at all because of Invade and because of kinetic transference. You cannot take any hits and block, but fully Quaking that fight is also very easy. There's absolutely nothing stopping you, and Quake was my first idea to go to. Anyway, She-Hulk, as we just saw, does extremely well, especially considering the fact that it is a longer fight and you can ramp her up, therefore she is going to deliver a lot of damage. Spider-Gwen does this fight also extremely well with pretty much identical playstyle or very similar method at the very least as She-Hulk does, but there obviously you do want to weave in more if you're level 1s. Sorcerer Supreme is one of the better options, and with Sorcerer Supreme you actually get a very, very helpful, very great help from that node that we have here. 1 second. What is it called? Personal space, where she's gaining furies. That means that as you are staying close to her, you can nullify those furies with Sorcerer Supreme and gain power quicker. On top of that, obviously, Sorcerer Supreme has access to slow. That still is going to be paused for 5 seconds whenever you use level 2, so she's not going to be able to shrug it off very quickly. And on top of all of that, obviously, if you have the armor rune active, you can actually parry with her in that fight and survive. But yeah, you need to have Mystic Dispersion ideally then if you do use Sorcerer Supreme. So what else? What else? We have Ghost, who I have seen to be able to do this fight. Now with Ghost, it is also going to be quite tricky because obviously Ghost does not have any chance or option to deal with the Brawl node. That means you will have limited window of time when you can attack. However, Ghost makes up for it for being able to find an opening very easily with her phasing. Hyperion does extremely well also with the ability to spam special attacks and drop the level 3s in order to regain spacing. With Hyperion it might be slightly longer fight, but you can definitely do extremely well with Hyperion, especially if you can measure your heavy attacks and time them well. Other than that, so far I have heard people use Red Guardian with level 1 spam, because obviously there is a very easily accessible slow as well. That's just going to be a longer fight. I have heard people use Doom to a relatively good extent. Other than that, I'm sure there are more options, and I'm sure there are more champions who are capable of the solo. Perhaps Silver Centurion might be able to do something relatively interesting. I haven't tried that fight out yet, but I don't have a ranked Silver Centurion. And maybe just maybe a Yellow Jacket. I'm not sure on that one, but perhaps he can put in some work. I have not tried that also, but I definitely know that these first six champions that I have listed all are capable of doing that fight. That being said, remember that there is no shame in using a revive or two. If you have to, and then you can just use super high damage output champion like Corvus or whoever to go and try and chip at her. But yeah, that is about it. I do hope this video is helpful to, at the very least, some of you. I will try my best to upload some sort of form of guide for every single Summer of Pain boss that is going to be out there. And if you are planning and giving it your best shot, then please do consider subscribing, hitting that notification bell, and doing all that other cool stuff so you do not miss an upload of videos such as this or live streams where I can maybe do it live as well. Anyways, that is it for today, and I hope you guys found this video useful. If you did, hit that like button, hit that sub button, hit all the good buttons. I shall catch you guys soon. See ya. Hello there guys, and welcome back to the channel. So we have all the information